there's kind of a mechanic here, a back take from this deep half, and it ties in with the Coyote guard when people backstep into what we call the reverse guard, and it kind of like is this glue that holds together a lot of positions. I had big trouble with this over the years. It really confused my brain. I feel like I'm starting to get it. Shout out to Jake McKenzie, Shane Fishman, and friend of the channel, Seth Smith, for developing these positions. But, and you know how your body, like, it takes a while for your body to kind of, I don't know, naturally do some positions in jiu-jitsu, but then it clicks, and then a whole nother door opens up. So, like, if you start to develop this position, you can start to look at maybe like playing some octopus type guards as well and things like that. For example, that Wardzinski has been putting out, and of course Tellis back in the day, but that's pretty old school now. But it's because it's similar body movements. So let me kind of get into it. So we enter our deep half with the entry, or another entry, but whatever entry you have, we get it ourselves into our position here. We're in a decent position. And we kind of talked about bumping them forward and getting their hands to the mat. If we're able to do that, it makes them a little lighter to where now I can peekaboo my head, hopefully like out the back door. So I bump them forward and get the hands to the mat. And now look, I can retract my head out of this pocket. Of course, if Jeff's not going to stay right there, and if he did, I would go maybe like into my crab ride type game, or that type of stuff. He's gonna do a reaction here, like 90% of the time, where he's gonna turn and face me, like this, okay? So I'm just gonna let him fall right into that pocket, and my arm right here is really important. I'm gonna come around the waist, right around the shape of his belt right here, and I'm gonna clamp down. And I'm gonna take all the space away in my armpit. I can't allow any space. I need to get up to my elbow soon, but my first move is just to take away all that space. If I leave space or I'm lazy, this is where I'm going to get into problems, because Jeff's going to take this arm right here, and he's going to get into either a cross face, exactly, or even an underhook on this side. And then I'm screwed. So I need to get here, and I'm tight, and I'm hugging him. I can kind of pinch him between my knee and elbow so that he's, like, controlled right here. This is great. Now I need to get up to my elbow. It can be a little bit of a battle. Remember, hand towards the ceiling. We just get a little bit of a build, a little bit of a frame right here, and I'm good to go. I'm going to take a big step. This feels like, I know all of you have been through intro. This little movement feels a lot like doing a hip bump sweep. I'm going to hip bump him and kind of knee him in the chest, and I'm going to step between his legs with my right leg. So I'm going to knee him in the chest, bump him, and step. He has to respect this. Let's say that he doesn't do anything. I will literally do a hip bump sweep and just take him down and get on top like this. And that does happen occasionally. So he kind of has to respect that hip bump a little bit by kind of elevating his hips. So I go boom, he fights back. Now I'm just going to step, extract myself, scoot out, and I'm looking for this arm now as I come out. Usually we're falling this way. If I can get this underhook, he's controlled, and we can go seatbelt eventually. The reason I need this underhook, if I don't have it, as I escape, he might keep turning, right? And he's going to keep turning belly down like this, and then we kind of end up in a bit of a scramble. So I'm looking for that underhook on that, kind of like diagonal. I've got the hook on this leg. I want the hook on this arm. That's a common kind of setup. So we'll roll through again. We pinch, we go deep half. We fix everything how we like it. We're in a good spot. I'm going to bump his hands to the mat and just kind of do a little turtle head and escape my head out the bottom here. Boom. Out I come. He's rolling and coming to my hips right here. And we're clamping. Yep, I'm getting up to my elbow, keeping everything tight, and I'm going to give him a nice bump with some force to try to get a little bit of a reaction here. Boom. Step, out, he sits, and we're shooting for this hook right here. We can throw this hook later if we want, or we can just, clamp it on the hip like so. One more time. Oh. hands to the mat. Boom, he turns in. We end up here. I'm nice and tight. Build up. Give him a nice bump in the knee. Boom. Sit out. Shoot for the underhook. We get our backs. Cool. So, this is gonna, just so I can show something real quick that's a connection. Let's say I'm playing the Coyote guard game here, and he does like a back step. Usually they're gonna have the cross face, but not always. Let's say he goes around the hip with this arm, like this. And he does a back step, right? We're in the exact same position. We can just go into our, the sweep that we just did. Boom. For an example. So oftentimes that happens because people are backstepping out of that half guard and they're looking to like get in on your legs, and so they're not necessarily going for the head control. A lot of times they're going lower, like towards the waist. They're trying to do stuff on your legs. It sets you up for this. Cool. Let's give it a shot. A little more complex. Call me and Jeff over. We'll help you out. 1, 2, 3.